to Sun Harvest County Fair. It's Thursday already, can you believe it? And we have seen and done so many things, from the crafts that we've done, to the farm visits, to all the fun things the Fennels have been doing at their house. Can you believe it? And how about the snacks? Max is doing an amazing job of teaching you how to make easy snacks at home. So I'm thinking some of those snacks might even have some fruit in them. I think we have had fruit this week. So we're going to review what we've done and talk about the fruit of the Spirit for today. So before we get to that, let's remember Monday was Grow Love, and I hope you've been doing loving things at home to your sisters and brothers and maybe your neighbors or cousins. If they're doing Vacation Bible School with you, it's easy to sometimes, when it's hot, to not be so loving, but I encourage you to grow that spirit in your heart, okay? Our second fruit was to sprout joy, and our little strawberry is the reminder. And we talked about the families who lost the sheep and the coin that was lost, and how they were so happy when they found that lost sheep and the lost coin. Our third day was plant peace. And we talked about how God is with us all the time, and we don't need to be afraid. Even if we're starting a new school year, or we don't really know even what's going to happen this year at school, don't forget, God is with us all the time, and we don't need to be afraid. Well, today, Thursday, we have a big fruit, a watermelon, another vining fruit, and our fruit of the Spirit is produce patience. That's another thing that's hard in the hot weather, is sometimes to be patient with each other. But our story today, you will find that we had a very patient father. So you'll have to wait and find out just what his child did to make him have to be so patient. Well, I know a very patient animal that we're going to go visit today. Anybody know where we're going? You guessed it. We're going to go visit pigs. We actually call them hogs when we have a big farm full of them. So we're going to visit the Gould Hog Farm today and learn all about how they raise all of those hogs. So I think we're good to go. Oh, I almost forgot. Our snack today has to do with pigs too. If you think hard, I bet you can guess what it's going to be. Okay, we will see you tomorrow. Have a great day. On to music. Bye-bye.
Hey VBS campers, we're back at the Sun Harvest Fair. It's time for music. Today, I believe you are talking about patience. So our song today is Hold On, and we're supposed to pretend like we're scarecrows and kind of be funky, but the song is all about asking God to help us be patient. If you remember from day one, our sign for patient was you kind of put your thumb on your mouth and bring it down to your chest. So that is patience. We're not going to be using that sign in this song, but maybe if you're having trouble being patient, you can do that just to remind yourself, I need to be patient. So here we go with Hold On. You're kind of crazy.
Sometimes you have to hold your tongue. Don't do wrong when anger comes. You take time to grow and be patient. People make you want to scream. Give God room to change the scene. You can count to 10 and be patient. Hold on and be patient. Hold
welcome back for another story where today we are learning about the fruit of the Spirit called patience. That is something that is very, very hard to have, isn't it? Something that we have to ask God to help us with a lot, I bet. I know we do at our house. So, the story that goes with this fruit of the Spirit is about two brothers. They lived on a farm, a really big farm with their father. And so, when the father would be dead, eventually when he would die, half of the farm would go to one son and half of the farm would go to the other son. They would inherit half of the farm. And it was a really big farm, so it was worth a lot of money back then. And so the sons were on the farm, but one son decided, you know what, I don't want to have to wait until my dad dies to get my inheritance. I want my half of the farm now. I want my half of the money now. And the father didn't really want to give him half of the farm and half of the money, but he did. And guess what the son did? He didn't stay there. He went off traveling. And do you think he hung on to his money and saved it? What do you think? No, he did not. He spent that money on fun things to do, maybe on some fancy clothes, good food, and eventually, guess what happened to his money? What do you think, James? What happened to his money?
It was gone.
It was gone! He ran out of money. He spent it all, and he didn't even have anything cool to show for it. He didn't have a farm or anything like that. He had nothing. And he had to go to work for a farmer, helping take care of pigs. But because he was Jewish, he wasn't even supposed to take care of pigs. So he was feeling really bad. Like, what's he gonna do? How's he gonna be able to take care of himself? Would you be worried if you didn't know what you were gonna do and you had no money? Yeah. So meanwhile, back at the farm, his dad and his other brother, they're there and they're working. And how do you think his dad felt, like not being able to see his son? What do you think?
Sad.
Yeah, really sad. He was so sad. He hadn't seen his son in a long time. He didn't know if he was okay. He didn't know if he would ever see him again. But there wasn't anything he could do other than just, be patient and wait to see if his son would come back and pray. Do you think he prayed? Yeah, to help keep his son safe and maybe pray that he'd get to see him again. But he just had to be patient and wait. And so, one day, the son, when he was working with the pigs, he's like, I don't know what to do. And he started to think about his dad and said, I wonder what would happen if I go home. Will Dad talk to me? Will he love me? Like, what will he think? And then he started thinking, maybe he'll hire me as a servant, right? Just maybe get a little bit of money that way, having to work for his dad. Can you imagine having to be my servant and get just a little bit of money? Yeah. But he decided that he would go back and he would see what his dad said. And so his dad's out in the field and he's working and he glances up and he sees someone coming down the road. And as that person gets closer, is it him? And he starts to realize it's his son. And just like the shepherd, when he found that lost sheep, he was so joyful. His son was back. And so he raced down to him and he gave him this huge hug. He was so happy that he was back. And his son apologized. He said, Dad, I am so sorry. I've done wrong things. I don't deserve to be called your son. And did his dad have him become a servant, do you think? No, he didn't. Just like the shepherd was joyful, this father was so happy that his son, his lost son, was back that he said, oh, look at your shoes. You need new shoes. You need some clothes. Get out our best food. We are going to have a big celebration. And they had this big celebration because the lost son was home. And so he was lost, but now he's found. And so he was patient and his son came back. And God is patient with us too. He's patient just like the father in the story. He forgives us even when we do things that we shouldn't, right? And so if we ask him for help with our own patience, he can help us to become more patient. So if there's ever somebody that's frustrating you, like maybe a brother or a sister, or even your parents, ask God to help you be patient, to help you find that peace, and he will help you with your patience. So, all right, we'll see you tomorrow for one last story.